Springtime is an amazing time to visit the Smoky Mountains. There's so much to do and see that narrowing down your list to just a few things might be challenging. In today's video, I'm going to give you a rundown of the top attractions we hit this spring when visiting the Smoky Mountains. Welcome to Bear Facts, where we explore the Smoky Mountains one bear fact at a time. So the first thing we did this spring was hit the island. If you're not familiar with this attraction, it's a shopping and amusement center that you can see from miles away. There's a growing number of things to do at the attraction, from dining, rope climbing, shopping, to sleeping. There's an impressive amount of activities that can be done at the island for families and couples. Some people could easily spend the entire day there, and there's also things to do on rainy or cold days as well. We enjoy going to the island to walk around, do a little shopping, and of course eat. One of the places we like to go to is Paula Deen's. There are mixed reviews on Paula Deen's. Some people love it and some think it's overpriced and not worth the cost. But we enjoy the bread and fried chicken, so we keep going back. There are many different sit-down places you can eat as well, including Timberwood Grill, Dick's Last Resort, and Mellow Mushroom. There are a few quick eats as well, but there really isn't a huge selection of inexpensive quick dining options. For many people, the real fun is the giant Ferris wheel in the center of the island. You can see this feature from miles away. The wheel has cabins that you can pay to sit in and get a super view of the mountains from. It's an impressive sight and great to watch at night when it lights up as well. On nice sunny days, you can sit outside on one of the rocking chairs by the fountain display and watch it burst to life as the water dances to music and lights morning and nights. You can also hop on one of the many walking trails that meander up and around the Little Pigeon River. On rainy days, you can still enjoy many of the activities from Alcatraz East Crime Museum to their newest attraction, Skyfly. The best part of the island is that it's absolutely free to park and get in. If all you want to do is watch people and enjoy window shopping, you can bring your own snacks and drinks and just walk around. The biggest drawback is the island can get very expensive really fast. There are packages for rides and ways to save a little money, but for the most part, you're paying for each individual attraction, and with a family of 4, this can start adding up real quickly. Spring is also the best time to hit the trails. The temperatures are perfect for hiking some of the longer or more challenging hikes. This spring, we went to Chimney Tops. Though the trail is only 4 miles long, it can be much more challenging because of the length. It's also one of the best views of the Smoky Mountains you can find on such a short walk. You can actually see the peak of Chimney Tops Trail from the road as you drive around. It's an impressive sight even from the roadside. Chimney Tops has 2 parts, the picnic area and the trailhead. You actually get to the Chimney Tops picnic area almost a mile before you see the trailhead. This is a very popular place for people who want to enjoy the peaceful walking trails, picnic as they watch the water, and rock hopping. Though the water is still closer to 50 degrees in the spring, many people enjoy just sitting on the rocks or hopping from one massive boulder to another. The outside temperature in spring is a lot warmer, so it won't be as big of a deal if you fall into a shallow pool. It also has some of the easiest to access wildflower trails in the park. You'll get to see some amazing flowers bloom in this area. One note to make is that the bathrooms in the picnic area are still closed by later April. If you need to use the bathroom for either the trail or when visiting, you'll need to stop at the Sugarland Visitor Center or go further down the road to the bathroom at Alum or even Newfound Gap. For those of you who want a little more adventure, head down to the Chimney Tops Trailhead. It's about a mile further up the road from the picnic area. When you get there, make sure your park permit is visible because you will need it to park your car. Passes are available at the visitor centers or online. I would suggest heading to Chimney Tops either very early or later in the afternoon to get parking. Parking is very limited, and since it's a popular trail, parking is going to be a hassle. Honestly, since it's a shorter trail, my best suggestion, especially in the spring, is to head out around 2 or 3 in the afternoon. There are 2 reasons we do this. One being that you're less likely to need gloves and jackets. In the morning, it can be very cold in the upper elevations. If you hold off to the afternoon, you might only need a light sweatshirt. Another reason to hold off until the later afternoon to start your hike is that we've noticed the crowds seem to peak around noon in the spring and level out in the afternoon. You're more likely to find parking spots as the morning people are leaving. It's a win-win situation. Chimney Tops is a fantastic hike with a wonderful view at the top, but it's not an easy trail. With over 1,200 feet elevation gain, most of it happens at the last mile. So you're going to have to face a grueling mile of stairs to get to the sweet spot above. When you reach the final part of the climb, you will see a leveled out area for people to sit. Many people stop here and have lunch or just enjoy the view. For those more adventurous individuals, if you keep going, you will see a gate and a warning sign to stop. This part of the trail was closed indefinitely due to a fire that happened in 2017, leaving the area unstable. If you do go beyond this point, you will get a view that is beyond breathtaking. Keep in mind that this area can be very dangerous and the ground becomes even more unstable with loose gravel footing as you continue. We have never ventured much beyond the area you see filmed, but we have seen people sitting on the peak of the mountain. Not something I would personally ever try. Another springtime suggestion is to try something new. This time we ended up trying a place we've heard about but just hadn't been there yet. We were also in the mood for a burger, so we got out our GPS and typed in Gray's Burgers. Gray's Burger was opened in 2019 and is a new business in an old building. The actual building used to be a mechanic shop that fixed tractors and other odds and ends. They revamped the building, put in the neat garage door style windows to access the bar from the outside, and put in the new old flooring. The floorboards were refurbished from another source and given new life in the building. The ambiance was old meets contemporary. Though the restaurant is off the beaten trail, by trail I mean 441, it's still very easy to find. There is a large free parking area across the building, so the walk to the restaurant is easy. I like that they're trying to revitalize the old buildings and give the area new life. There is so much history in the area that has been lost to tourism, and seeing some of it brought back is refreshing. There are plenty of reviews in the restaurant, and most of them are extremely positive. The restaurant promotes graze-fed cows and features other foods as well. The only thing we regret not doing was to get one of the milkshakes before leaving. We were too full and just couldn't find the room. Though we heard great things about them, and I will definitely try them next time. Since we were in the area, we also headed down to Knifeworks. Knifeworks is also an excellent place to visit in the spring because it's indoors and good for rainy or cold days. It's got free parking and it's big enough to hold your attention for a little while. Now, if you're like me, you might say, why would I care about a big knife store? But don't let the sign fool you. Even though you'll find every conceivable kind of knife possible, even kitchen knives, that's far from the only thing you will find here. The best way to describe the place is your grandparents' attic. This place is one of the most bizarre collection of odd things you can find, from Civil War relics, unique stones and mineral rocks, guns and ammo, to toys and clothes. They were literally trying to find something for everyone to fill the store with. So even if you don't care about knives and guns, you can still spend an hour in the basement wondering why would someone want a giant rock that costs $1,000? Or what would you do with a Civil War button? But hey, to each their own. Either way, it's a cool place to see, if only for once. Spring is also Dollywood season. Like the bears, Dollywood also hibernates for about 2 months a year. The theme park closes at the beginning of January and opens in March. Many people try to get there for the springtime event, the Flower and Food Festival, which starts in late April and goes until early June. This is when they put out the flowers and umbrellas and really decorate for the season. If you get there before the Food and Flower Festival starts, which is what happened to us, there's still plenty to do. Most of the rides are open in the spring, even River Rampage if you don't mind getting wet. Also, there are lots of places to eat and shows to see. If you enjoy shopping, there are a surprising amount of unique shops to browse as well. What surprises me the most is the diversity of people you see in the park. It is extremely popular with the young and the young at heart. They have made the park very accessible for strollers and wheelchairs, and there are activities that appeal to all kinds of people. Me and my husband are not really big ride fans, but we like to come and see the decorations, catch a show, or just hop on the train. If you have a sweet tooth, don't miss out on their famous cinnamon bread loaf. These loaves of sweet bread can be purchased in two places, the bakery or the mill house. It's a very popular item and lines can get pretty extreme at times, but it's worth the wait. One loaf of bread can be shared or eaten alone, depends on what kind of day you're having. The springtime activities that you can find in Gatlinburg are numerous as well. There are plenty of shopping opportunities, dining, and indoor activities to choose from. We tend to favor a trip to either Anarchista or Skybridge, but there is also the Space Needle and Uber Gatlinburg if you're looking for a view of the mountains without the drive into the mountains. From these locations, you can get a wonderful view of the landscapes from higher up and see the mountains as they're waking up from their winter slumber. Within the week we were there, we could also see the barren hills transform as green buds begin to sprinkle the tops of trees. The spring is an amazing time to see this transformation. If you go to Anarchista, there are two options to get to the top. There are the ski lifts and the shuttles. Both ways tend to take about the same amount of time to get from the top to the bottom, or the bottom to the top. We like the ski lift because you get great photos and have plenty of time to just enjoy the view. The downside to the lifts are that you're very high above the ground, so fear of heights can be a problem, and it can get very cold or start to rain at any time. Unless you're fortunate to get one of the very, very few gondolas, you're out of luck if that happens. The other way to the top of Anarchista is the shuttle service. The vehicles are enclosed and run very regularly from the top to the bottom when the park is open. We have also spotted bears when on the shuttles, so that can also add to your day. The downside is that you miss out on the views. Once at the top, you have a mountain of activities to choose from, no pun intended. Of course, there are places to eat and drink at the top, as well as shops to souvenir hunt as well. But there are many other things to do once you reach the summit. Many of the activities are free once you get to the top, such as the tree bridge, advertised as one of the longest in the world, the tower, which you can climb up a flight of steps to get to an even higher view of the mountains. There's also the numerous walking trails up and around the mountain, plenty of great areas to sit and enjoy the view, and even a fireplace to prop your feet as you watch the sunset. There are even children-friendly play areas that let them try their hand at miniature-style obstacle courses and rope balancing. There are also paid activities such as the mountain coaster, zip lining, and their newest night attraction, Astro Lumina, which opened up in the fall of 2022. Another stop during our springtime vacation is Ripley's Aquarium. This place is great to go if you're having a rainy day or need a break from the heat. The aquarium has a lot to offer and is well designed. The highlight of the aquarium is the giant underwater tunnel where you can see sharks and other fish swimming above and around you. The tunnel is quite long and has a conveyor to keep people on the move. You can hop off the conveyor and stand to the side if you want a longer view. You might even get a glimpse of the elusive sea turtle Sally, who lives in the tank. However, for many people, the penguin exhibit is going to be the real draw. Ripley's is a fully functioning breeding facility. Many of the penguins you see were born and raised on site. It's fun to sit and look at the names of each penguin and imagine their personality. For an additional cost, you can feed the stingrays or hop on the glass bottom boat. There is a jellyfish petting area that is of no cost, but they're not open all the time and it could be a hit or miss whether they are open when you're there. So the last thing we did before heading home this spring was to take a ride up into the mountains. There are plenty of amazing places to stop and see in the spring, and you can see wildflowers right from the roadside when driving down Route 441. Clingmans Dome is one of our top picks for an unobstructed view of the mountains. This attraction is touted as the highest point of elevation to see the mountains from in the Smoky Mountains. It is a hot spot for tourists and is wheelchair accessible and can get quite busy. But if you get there on a clear day, the view is spectacular. Keep in mind though that like most of the Smoky Mountain trails and places, pets are not allowed. So unless you have a therapy or service dog, your furry friend needs to stay in the car. If you choose to enjoy the view from the parking lot area, you will get an amazing view. There are bathrooms in this area, but they're not the flushing kind. You can also stop at the visitor center and look for a map or other unique souvenirs of the trip. We have been there when it was only cash, but this is something that might have just been an issue at the time. I would still try and make sure you have cash when you go. If you do want to take the half-mile walk to the rest of the way to the top, it's worth the trip. Just consider taking water, and if you have breathing issues, bring your inhaler. The elevation is pretty high, and it's a very steep hill to the top. Seeing that it's only half a mile to the top, many people don't realize how high it goes. There are plenty of places to stop and rest, so don't feel ashamed to use them. There's a reason you see at least 5 of them in the half mile to the top. When you get to the top, you can also tell people that you've been on the Appalachian Trail, as it intersects with the Clingmans Dome Trail as well. Either way, you made it to the top of a real mountain and should stop and enjoy the view. It will be the one of the few times in your life you will see so much unobstructed nature and the closest you will come to seeing America in its pioneer days. There are so many other things to do in the Smoky Mountains in the spring that this video won't even touch on a single % of all there is to offer. If you want more fun facts and vacation plan ideas, keep watching my channel. Each week I will release a new video that highlights attractions, restaurants, and trails to help you plan on your next trip to the Smoky Mountains. If you've enjoyed my video, please remember to hit the like button or subscribe to my channel. I always enjoy helpful comments and want to hear more from all of you.